Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'd be fine. Thinking your syllabus mathematics book 6 or book 1. And today we are going to discuss from question number 6 of 11B polygons, in which we are going to discuss some of the properties of kite, right? Kite is another quadrilateral. We have discussed about some of the quadrilaterals in the previous videos. If you haven't been through them, just go through them. I've shared the link in the description box, so that you would have a clear picture that how do we deal with quadrilaterals. Okay, so let's start with this one. What are the properties of a kite? So in a kite, no sides are parallel to each other. But in a kite, what happens? The two adjacent sides are equal to each other. Like if you have two sides at the upper portion and two at the lower side, so AD would be equals to ADC. We can say that AD equals to DC. And we have already learned that if two sides in a triangle are equal to each other, as you can see that it has been splitted by a line into two triangles. So there is a triangle ADC. You can write it over here as in triangle ADC, AD is equals to DC. Hence, what happens when two of the sides in a triangle are equal to each other? It becomes an isosceles triangle. So the two corresponding angles also becomes equal to each other. So angle A would be equal to ACD, right? We can write it over here as angle DAC is equals to angle ACD. And this angle has been marked as angle DAC has been marked as angle A. So ACD would also be angle A. Both angle would be equal to each other. So if we have to find out two of the angles in an isosceles triangle, we have already learned in detail that what do we do if one of the angle is given which is not equal to any of the other two angles. It means what we will do, we will simply write it as 100 plus A is equals to 180 degree angle sum property. Isn't it? The three angles, angle A plus 100 is equals to 180 degrees, which is the angle sum property of a triangle. That is the three angles in a triangle equals to 180 degrees. So if we add A plus A, we will get 2A. And in the second step, what we are going to do, we will subtract 100 from 180. So we will get the value of 2A, not A. What to do next? We will divide 2 by 80 and it would be 40 each. It means each of the angle would be 40, 40. This would be 40 and this would be 40. So if you add 40, 40 and 100, you'll get a total of 180 degrees, right? And unlike a rhombus, the opposite angles are not equal to each other, right? But what happens? Just like the upper triangle, the lower triangle is also isosceles. As you can see, these two sides are equal to each other. Hence, these two angles would be equal to each other. If we go in the opposite direction, we will get two angles. So these two angles would be equal to each other. That is, if side AB is equals to BC, we can say that in triangle ABC, AB is equals to BC. Hence, angle BAC is equals to angle BCA. Right? BCA is, BCA is already given. So we can say that angle BAC is equals to 61 degrees. You see, if one of the angle is given which is equal to another angle, so we can say that the other angle would also be 61. And now after getting two of the angles, we can easily find out the third angle, which is angle B. You see, earlier in the previous triangle, one of the angle was given which was not equal to any of the remaining two angles. So what we did, first we subtracted it from 180 and then we divided it by 2. But in this triangle, unlike the previous triangle, one of the angle is given which is equal to another angle. So first we kept the other angle as 61 as well. And now after getting two of the angles 61, 61 each, we can find angle B as, using this equation, B plus 61 plus 61 is equals to 180 again, since it's another triangle. So if we add 61, 61, we will get 122 is equals to 180. Now we will subtract it from 180 to find out the value of B. And it would be 58. You see? So angle B would be 58 degrees. This is how we have easily found the value of angle A and angle B. But the procedure of finding both the angles was different, because in the first triangle ADC, the angle that was given was 100 degrees, which was not equal to any of the two other angles. So what we did, first we subtracted it from 180, then we divided that by 2. But in the second triangle ABC, the one angle that was given was equal to one of the unknown angle. So what we did, first we replicated it towards its equal angle, that is 61, 61. After adding the two, we just subtracted it from 180 to find out the third angle. Now let's do part B. If you look at part B, you can see that there is a diagonal line from the opposite side. In the first kite, if we look at this kite and if we draw it in this direction, it would be like this, right? This is how it looks like if we draw it in the vertical position. But this time, this diagonal line is from up to down. Earlier, there was a horizontal line, you see, and this time there is a vertical line. So the two triangles formed would be different this time, you see. Since we know these two sides are equal to each other and these two sides are equal to each other, but there is no line in between, okay? This is what you have to keep in mind. So what is given over here? Let's figure it out. Which of the angles are given? This angle is given, which is ABC. Sorry, I labeled it wrong. It would be like this. A, D, B, C. Okay, so which of the angles are given out of the four angles? If we look at point A, so angle BAC is given. This angle is given as 40 degrees. And another angle is also given, that is ACD, which is 26 degrees. And we have to find out the angle at point A, which is ADC, angle C. So how can we find this angle now? Now, students, you have to understand that only one diagonal in a kite bisect the interior angles. What does it mean? That is, when I will draw a vertical in this form, a vertical diagonal line from point A to C, these two angles would be equal to each other. That is, if angle BAC is 40 degrees, this angle would also be 40 degrees, unlike previous one. When we had a horizontal diagonal line, these two angles were not 61, 61 each. Similarly, this angle A was not equals to angle A. Do you remember? Both angles were not the same. But this time, when we have a vertical diagonal line, only one pair of equal interior angles we can make by making a vertical diagonal line. It will only bisect the interior angles. Bisect means the two angles that are formed on the either side would be equal to each other. If this is 40, this would be 40. Similarly, if this is 26, this would be 26. But previously, this was not the case. Earlier, we had two isosceles triangles. So we used the properties of triangles when we had a diagonal line that was horizontal. But in this case, when we have a vertical diagonal line, we do not have two isosceles triangles, but this line has bisected the interior angles. So this is how we can easily figure out that what would be the two unknown angles easily. Now, if we have to find out angle C, we can see that it's in this triangle like this, which is ADC. And since we have found two of the angles in ADC, we can now easily figure out that what would be the third angle by adding 26 with 40 and subtracting it from 180. So we will write it as one diagonal bisect the interior angles. This diagonal will only bisect the interior angles. You have to keep this in mind. The two rhombuses, the two kites in front of us are totally different from one another. So we cannot use the same properties for solving these two kites. For the first one, we had used different properties. That is the properties a uh, of an isosceles triangle. As you can see that this is a different kite. Why is it a difference? Because the diagonal line in this one is horizontal, right? So we used the isosceles triangle properties, but in this diagonal we have a vertical line, so we have used the properties of bisecting angles. That is, these two angles would be equal to each other. Earlier these two angles were equal to each other. Similarly, these two angles were equal to each other, but this time these two angles would be equal to each other and these two angles would be equal to each other. So using different kites, we will have to use different properties. And if you memorize them by practicing as many questions as possible, this would be easier for you to understand that where do we have to use the properties of isosceles triangle and where do we have to use the properties of diagonal bisecting the interior angles. So we can say that angle BAC coming from over here, this angle is equals to ACD. So both would be 40 degrees each. And similarly, the two angles at the bottom, BCA and ACD, would also be equals to each other. If one of the angle is given as 26 degrees, so the other angle would also be 26 degrees. So from here, we have found the four angles two were given and we have found the other two adjacent to the given angles. And now we have to find out angle C, which is part of a triangle ACD. So we can say that in triangle ACD, two of the angles are given, 40 and 26. We will add these two and then subtract it from 180. You will get the answer as C is equals to 144. In the next question, students, you can see that we have two both the diagonals in this, the vertical and the horizontal. And keep in mind, when the two diagonals meet in a kite, just like a rhombus, the four angles that are formed in the center would be 90 degrees each. So each of the four angles at point E would be 90 degrees, right? Acha. Now they're saying the diagram shows a kite ABCD where AB is equals to AD. As you can see that these two lines are equal to each other. This is AB and this is AD. They are equal to each other, marked with two different lines. And similarly, CB is equals to, this is CB and this is DC. They are equal to each other. Only one angle in the first triangle ADB is given, that is 25 degrees. And one of the angle in triangle DBC is given, that is 44 degrees, right? Both the diagonals intersect at C, which is the center point. So at this point, all four angles would be 90 degrees. In this way, we have four right angled triangles in which in the two triangles, we can say that two triangles each are given. But in the triangles at the bottom, ABE and BCE, only one angle, that is 90-90, is given. So as we know that if we rotate this shape like this, and make it to a vertical kite, we know that this diagonal line bisect the two angles on the either sides. So we can say that these two angles would be equal to each other. So if we look over here, these two angles would be equal to each other. If angle DCA is 44, ACB would also be 44. You see? And similarly, these two angles would also be equal to each other. So if one of the angle is 25, other would be also 25. If angle DAC is 25, CAB would also be 25. Now we can say that in each of the triangles ADE, DEC, CEB, and ABE, in all four triangles, we have found all two angles in each of the triangle. Now we have to find out angle ABD. Which is angle ABD? This angle is ABD, which we have to find, and CB D, which is CBD. This angle is CBD, so we have to find this angle. How can we find? In triangle ABE, we know the two angles 25 and 90, right? And similarly, in this triangle BCA, we know two angles, that is 90 and 44. So we can easily find these two angles that are required in the question, part 1 and 2, very easily. So how do we solve this question? First, we are going to write a diagonal AC, bisect the angles at point A and C each. So angle DAC is equals to CAB. You can see DAC, which angle is DAC? This is angle DAC, right? And this is angle CAB. So both would be equal to each other. Since this line would bisect the two angles, that is, it will cut the two angles into equal parts, 25, 25 each. Similarly, on the opposite side, angle DCA, this angle, and angle ACB would be equal to each other, that is 44, 44 each. If one of the angle is given, we can easily figure out that other angle would also be 44, 44. And we already know that at the center point E, all four angles are 90, 90 degrees. So we can now, using the triangle property, in triangle ABE, we can find out angle ABD, which is 90 plus 25 plus ABD is equals to 180. So 90 plus 25 is equals to 115. When we subtract 115 from 180, we will get the answer as 65. And same we have to do for the triangle BEC. In BEC, again, we know two of the angles 90 and 44. We'll add them up, subtract it from 180, and we will get the answer as 46 degrees. This is how we have to solve this particular question. Okay, students, in question number 8, we are provided with another type of a quadrilateral, which is a trapezium. All we know about trapezium is a special type of quadrilateral where we have only one pair of parallel sides. That's it. Apart from this, we have no properties available for trapezium. Yes, but due to two parallel lines, we have already discussed this property when we were doing parallelograms in question number 4, I guess, that between the two parallel lines, the two adjacent angles are equal to have a sum of 180 degrees. It means between these two parallel lines, this is parallel line DC to AB, right? These are two parallel lines. To between these two parallel lines, the two adjacent angles, which two angles? I'm talking about angle 5x and x. These two angles will have a sum of 180 degrees. So we can write it as 5x plus x is equals to 180 degrees, right? And similarly, these two angles between the two parallel lines, as you can see, this parallel lines, between these two parallel lines, the two angles that are formed would have a sum of 180 degrees. They are supplementary to each other. So we can say that y plus 2.2x is equals to 180 degrees well. Right? And since we have to find out the value of x, we can easily find the value of x. How? If we solve this equation, we'll come to know the value of x. Look, 5x plus x. Both are like terms. We can add them up. If we add them, we will get 6x is equals to 180. Now in the next step, what will happen? Simply we will divide 6 by 180 and we will get the answer as 6 ones are 6, 6 threes are 18, and the 0, x is equals to 30. Here you go. We have found the value of 30. It means this angle is 30 and 5x means 5 multiplied by 30. So it would be 150. It means the two angles are 30 and 150 respectively. Now we have to work for angle y. How can we find angle y? Using this equation, which is y plus 2.2x is equals to 180. Substituting the value of x in this equation, we'll get to know the value of y. So we'll write it as substituting the value of x from equation 1. So it would be y plus 2.2 bracket 30. 2.2x means 2.2 multiplied by 30 is equals to 180. Now, if we multiply 2.2 by 30, what would we get? We will get 2.2 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 3. 30 means 10 multiplied by 3. If we multiply 2.2 by 10, we will get 22. 22 multiplied by 3 is equals to 66. It means it is 66 is equals to 180. Now, in the next step, what we will do, we will simply subtract it from 180 and we'll find the answer. That is 140. You see how easy it was knowing the properties of trapezium, that the two angles on the right side, the two angles on the left side in a trapezium have a sum of 180 degrees because they are supplementary angles. So what we can write the property as well, that adjacent angle means the two angles with one another, right? Attached to one another, one after another. So the adjacent angles between two parallel lines, we cannot say that these two angles would be equal to each other. No, this angle at point A and B won't be equal to each other. Only the two angles that are between the two parallel lines. Since these are two parallel lines, so whatever angles would be formed here and here would have a sum of 180 degrees. Similarly, if the two angles would form like this, these two angles would have a sum of 180 degrees. So you have to keep this in mind. So we have learned so many properties up till now. Inshallah, we are going to do few more questions in the next video. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching the video till the end. And don't forget to share it with your friends. Allah Hafiz.